It's kind of funny today because I put a post up on Instagram and Facebook actually. Come over to Amy Logan Life at Instagram and follow me there. Or of course my Facebook page too. But I put up a post and I was pretty moody and I was pretty kind of in it. And it's funny because I had the most unfollows I think that I've ever had. And I hit a nerve. And I find that so interesting because, you know, issues like this become polarizing. And you kind of find out who follows blindly and who is willing to listen and be curious and pay attention to this circumstance, anything that's really going on. And so I found it so interesting that, you know, when you speak your truth and when you speak your voice, some people won't like that. And I found that that's totally okay. Like, they get to be them and they get to figure out their own life puzzle, just as I've had to figure out mine and you're figuring out yours. The work that I do, I figure like people cycle through this, you know, at different times. And I just want to lend my voice to, like I've said, the bigger collective, the bigger narrative of getting your life back and knowing that things can be beautiful outside of Mormonism. Hey, I'm Amy with amyloganlife.com and welcome to my YouTube channel. Please make sure you click like if you like this video and make sure you subscribe for the videos that I put out every week. I'd love to have you stick around. I want to start out by just sending love and heartfelt love to the LGBTQ community, as I know, as I've seen, has rippled through all of the post-Mormon communities anywhere. Lots of heartache and sadness and confusion and frustration around what just happened. Now, I'm going to let you go do your homework. I would assume most of you who are watching know what's happened with the Mormon Church reversing their policy that they created in 2015. So in 2015, November, the church came out with a policy that put a lot of restrictions on our LGBTQ community and if they're in the Mormon faith. And that caused a lot of heartache. And if you go looking down my videos, I did a quick video. Shortly after that happened, I went to a huge mass Mormon resignation of people who said, that's enough. I want my name off the church. And it was at a park just in the shadow of the church office building where thousands of people gathered. And it was just a beautiful gathering of people supporting one another and making the heartfelt decision to have their name removed because they can no longer support, which was supposed to be a revelation. That the church said that policy was a revelation. And now, fast forward 3.5 years later, the church has now reversed that policy. And the thing that's so hard about this and why there's so much pain, and I've seen a lot of people celebrating, this is good, and then confused at why there's kind of this undercurrent of pain and frustration, is that there's been a lot of damage done because of this policy. There have been countless suicides. There have been countless families broken up over this. There have been people excommunicated because of this policy. And so now that the church has changed it, just like that, zero apology, zero accountability, to see what's happened to our LGBTQ members and friends and family, it's just been really heartbreaking. And so I just wanted to add my voice of love and support to our communities who are hurting. And, you know, we stay involved, many of us, and keep our toe in the water, like I've said before, because this affects people that we know. So it's important. I feel it's important. So when the policy change happened in 2015, it was called a revelation. So a lot of people are going, so what was it? This is now a revelation? Was that a revelation? Who's really speaking for God here? Now, I'm obviously out of the church. I no longer believe that those men speak for God. But there are many people who do, and this is causing confusion. My bigger hope is that this is creating people to kind of go, what? What just happened? Wait. Because what happens is if this isn't a revelation, I believe this needs to you need to call us into question all these other things that have happened. Was that a revelation? I mean, think about over time with polygamy and all that happened with polygamy, with blacks in the priesthood. And now we have this LGBTQ policy reversed. I think that this has caused more harm as far as, you know, we have the suicides and we have families broken up and people excommunicated. What happens with that? There's been no apology. just a change. And so it's left a lot of people like confused and heartbroken. And I just wanted to talk about that. I don't have the answers and I don't know the right way to fix this or make it better. I guess that's good that they changed it, but to me it seems a little too late, if you know what I mean. So I wanted to read you these quotes from Elder Oaks. These new, very positive policies should help the affected families and church members' efforts to show more understanding, compassion, and love. This should increase respect and understanding among all people of goodwill. The church wants to reduce the hate and contention so common today, he said. We are optimistic that a majority of people, whatever their beliefs and orientations, long for better understanding and less contentious communications. That is surely our desire, and we seek the help of our members and others to attain it. And I hear those words and I think, but you're the ones who put the policy out in the first place. You're the ones that have driven this point home about how, what same-sex marriage is and that it's not okay, and that children of same-sex married couples can't get baptized until they're 18 and then they have to disavow their parents. I mean, they're the ones that created this. So there's obviously a lot going on. There will be fallout from this because my biggest message in all that I do, and the reason I do these videos, is to get you to think for yourself. And I know that any of you who've come to a point where you've gone through a paradigm shift and you've worked through that, or you are working through that, and you're seeing the church is not quite what you were taught it was. It causes something to shift in your brain, and you have to start thinking differently. And if you're anything like me, you start looking at everything differently. So when something like this happens, it's going to cause members of the church to start going, what's going on? Now, of course, there's going to be many who think this is wonderful and it's a change and this is what we need. They're going back. It's a step in the right direction. Maybe it is. But there's so much hurt and pain that's happened that until that's addressed and until there's apologies and until there's getting on the ground level, so to speak, with the members and really understanding and listening to this pain, I just don't understand it. I'm hoping that this gets people to start waking up to what's going on. These are men running an organization. I think this just kind of shows that this did not come from God. And so if someone's to follow the logic there, you have to keep questioning, and then you have to go back and question other things, because this isn't the first time. There's many examples of things not quite being revelations. So my bigger message and my bigger point is just to add to the collective of love and sending love and understanding to our LGBTQ community. My heart aches with you, and I don't know completely everything that you go through, but I'm listening, I'm watching, I'm paying attention. And I hope that as this ripples through and as tomorrow starts General Conference, that people start paying attention and they start thinking things through. I also think that this really shows that the church reacts to social pressure. And if you've done your study on polygamy, and you've done your study on blacks in the priesthood, and you've done your study on obviously the LGBT community and the rights and Prop 8 and but the church reacts to societal pressure, and this is just another example of that happening. So, you've got a lot of thinking to do if you're kind of on the fence. It's no fun to be on the fence wondering what's right, what's wrong, should I stay, should I go? I know that feeling can be very frustrating. Love is always the bigger answer, loving one another, and I don't want that to be lost in the shuffle. We need to love on our people. We need to show them that we have love and concern for them as they're going through this time. I think the church can't continue with their current narrative. There's just too much. You get to pick. You get to pick what side of the fence you want to be on, so to speak. The church is hemorrhaging members. They've lost people over this policy. And I hate to say it, but I think it comes down to the bottom line. And they're trying to Band-Aid it, and I think they had to rip the Band-Aid off pretty fast and just put it out there. Not that 3.5 years is fast, but they just put this out there. Press release, let's just get it out there. I find it very curious. They did it right before conference, so I will be paying attention to what happens this weekend. But this is big time stuff. This is very serious, and very serious, tender feelings are open raw this weekend. So I want you all to be aware of that, and take that into consideration as you're processing all the feelings that are going on with what we've just kind of been through since we got the news yesterday. So that's my message today, and I just wanted to add to the collective, because I think as we all speak out and as we all share our voices and our concerns, I think that adds to the bigger picture. And my bigger picture is I live by the golden rule, and I love my people. I treat people how I want to be treated. All right, you guys, that's what I got for you today. Leave any comments below. Please click subscribe, and help me get my bigger message out there of helping people heal from the pain that is a faith crisis, and finding ways to get unstuck from it and move into a healthier space. That's what it's all about. So go love on your people.